Hello, boys and girls. It's time for another lesson on our Science Corner. I'm your teacher, Ms. Shamsuddin. Now, what just happened there? Did anyone notice something? Yes, the lights went out and then it suddenly came on back. Do you know why that happened? Well, today in our lesson, we're going to be discussing something that will help us to understand why that just happened. Let's look at what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to be talking about circuits. Do you know what a circuit is? A circuit is a closed path that allows electricity to flow from one point to another. Electricity only flows in a complete circuit. Thus, any gaps would prevent its flow. Maybe that's why we had that blackout. Now, the circuit is made up of different parts. Remember, we are talking about electricity being flowed through a path. And if you know anything about electricity, we know that it is one of the sources that causes things to work or function. So let's look at the parts of a simple circuit and their functions. We have the battery, we have the wires, the switch, and the bulb. In a circuit, the electricity is provided by that battery. The wire allows electricity to pass through, which is used by lighted bulbs, radios, television, irons, and other electrical appliances. The switch opens and closes the gaps in the circuit. They also control the flow of electricity. The function of a light bulb in an electrical circuit is that it turns electrical energy into light. So, here's a diagram of what a simple circuit looks like. We just spoke about the different parts of the circuit and their functions. So, let's see if we could find all the parts that we just identified in this circuit. Can you see the battery? Yes, there the battery is. On the battery, you see a plus sign and a minus sign. Do you see the switch? Yes, the switch, if you know, I'm sure you have a lot of this in your home. So you could look around and see if you also see something similar to this. Can you see the bulb? Yes, that's the part there with that bright light. What about the wire? If you look carefully, you will notice that the wire is connected to each of the other parts in the circuit. What does this say to you? That without the wires, the circuit just wouldn't work. So remember, the wire is the part through which the electricity that is produced runs or flows. Now, there are different types of circuits. We have the simple series and the simple parallel. Now, what exactly is a simple series circuit? In a simple series circuit, there are components arranged in a straight line, so all the current flows through each component in turns. So, like this example we have, this is an example of a simple series circuit. We have all the parts we also discussed, but if you check, you will see this one has 3 different bulbs. The one switch and the battery is controlling this entire circuit. So energy is flowing from bulb 1 to bulb 2 and then bulb 3. In a series circuit, a path is created that allows electricity to flow from the source through each component and back to the source so that there is only one path for the electrons to take. The electricity flows through a series of components lined up one after the other. So if you notice, you would see that the bulbs were lined up one after the other in that circuit. This is the simplest kind of circuit to understand because you have given the electricity no choice in where it goes. It has to flow from one to the other component. Now, let's look at a few questions to see if we could remember anything about the simple series circuit that we did just now. Can you name two parts of the circuit? What is a simple series circuit? How does electricity flow in a simple series circuit? I'll give you a few seconds. Let's look at the first one. Name two parts of a circuit. You could name any of the parts that we would have listed. Now, two parts, you could either have the bulb, the battery, you can have the switch and the wire, or the switch and the bulb, or the battery and the switch. What is a simple series circuit? Like we discussed, and with the diagram, a simple series circuit is a circuit with the components arranged in a straight line. So all the current flows through each component in turns. And how does electricity flow in a simple series circuit? The electricity flows through a series of components lined up one after the other in the simple series circuit. Now, did you remember all those facts so that you would have been able to answer those questions? I'm sure you did. So let's do a simple recap of the simple series circuit. We discussed that a circuit is a closed path that allows electricity to flow from one point to the other. We also discussed that electricity only flows in a complete circuit. Thus, if there is any gap or breakage, the flow of electricity would be prevented. The parts that we learned and identified were the battery, the wires, switch, and the bulb. We discussed that in a circuit, the electricity is provided by the battery. The wire allows the electricity to pass through, which is then used by lighted bulbs, radios, televisions, irons, and other electrical appliances. The switch is the part that opens and closes the gap in a circuit. They also control the flow of electricity. The function of the bulb in an electrical circuit is that it turns the electrical energy into light. And so that you understand that electricity is actually being flowed through the wire, or that there is no breakage or gap in that circuit. Now remember, there are different types of circuits. We have the simple series and the simple parallel, but we looked at the simple series. Now the simple series is a circuit with the components arranged in a straight line, so all the current flows through each component in turn. In the simple series circuit, a path is created that allows the electricity to flow from from the source, which is the battery, through each component and back to the source, so that there is only one path for the electrons to flow. The electricity flows through a series of components lined up, one after the other. The simple series circuit is the simplest kind of circuit to understand because you have given the electricity no choice in where it goes. It's always a pleasure to have you on the Science Corner. So until next time, I'm Miss Shamsuddin saying goodbye.